Craig brings out the best in anyone. He brings out more than anyone ever thought they could do musically.
He really does respect us all as individuals and values us all as people, you know, on or off the podium.
He trusts us as musicians, and we in turn trust him.
He's a genius and a nice, kind human being.
Craig Hella Johnson has earned his reputation as one of the finest choral conductors in the United States. The New Texas Festival that he founded has received national acclaim for its superb artistry. The Victoria Bach Festival, under Craig's artistic direction, has been called a Texas treasure by National Public Radio. When Craig joined the faculty of the University of Texas to direct choral activities, he arrived with impeccable credentials, which included tutelage under Helmut Rilling at the International Bach Academy in Stuttgart, Germany. While Craig's musical talent has brought him many accolades, the essence of his genius is the creative freedom he expresses and encourages in those he directs, a freedom nurtured in him as a child.
I was born in Brainerd, Minnesota. In '62, I was born to a father who was a Lutheran minister, and my mom was a nurse, a registered nurse, and that seemed to be sort of a magical Minnesota combination. Just there were ministers and registered nurses coupling up all over the place. And certainly the church was a musical playground for me. I started out playing a lot, you know, for Sunday school things and then for services very early on. But I really got a lot of affirmation, you know, and I could kind of just pound big fists on the piano and they'd say, "Oh, that was great, Craig, you know, carry on." And so that was a wonderful first environment for me, to not have kind of a monitor voice that was saying, "Oh, this is not good, this is not appropriate, this is..." I just had free reign. My first piano teacher, it was Margaret Damberg, and just a fabulous teacher. The thing she really gave me that I just love Mrs. Damberg for was the idea of a singing tone. It was just wonderful that at such an early age she was instilling that kind of an idea. But I hadn't heard a symphony orchestra until I was in the 9th grade, actually. And I heard the Duluth Symphony Orchestra. I drove down with my piano teacher. And, you know, so I didn't grow up in what I would call a very sophisticated, you know, cultural hotbed at all. Those kind of ordinary surroundings are what contributed to making me me.
The way that he thinks about music and the way that he expresses music transcends, say, technique or personality or something like that. There's something about the way he communicates that the orchestra really appreciates.
I think despite Craig's phenomenal gift, he's able to make music accessible to any type of audience and any type of musician, and that's what seems to bring us all together.
Craig is one of those people who makes the environment so friendly, welcoming, and generous that all the people there may expand themselves and they can do their best work and they can be creative. They don't have to feel like they're a cog in some enormous machine over which they have no control. And I think that is the sign of the greatest conductors.
Went to St. Olaf College in Northfield, Minnesota, and began there with a wonderful piano teacher, Dwayne Wee, and singing in the St. Olaf Choir was hugely formative for me. Because here at a place like St. Olaf, you know, chorally you get a sense of tasting ice cream for the first time. You know, I had nice high school experiences and all of that, but walking in the room, hearing the St. Olaf Choir sing for the first time, I remember thinking, my gosh, this is something very special. Ken Jennings there was the choral director at the time, and he really taught me that a choir is not just a sum of individuals at all. I mean, the whole is what speaks, and that the choir as a whole can sing as refined and delicately and nuanced as a supreme art song singer.
He creates an atmosphere of concentration. He invites you to come together, I mean, without saying it in so many words, just by the way he's working. He pulls a focus in, and he allows all the musicians there to be completely present and working together, and that's a rare gift, I think.
There's an intensity in him, and also an honesty and sincerity that just goes to the heart of the music, and it makes everything on the outside disappear, and you just see it clearly and go and you work together toward that common goal.
I feel very lucky to be a part of these years, because I think that in the next few years, everyone in the country is going to want to be a part of anything that he's doing.
Going to Germany really expanded my musical worldview in hundreds of ways. For me, Rilling felt like a safe place to enter into the world of my dreams. He's clearly a world-class conductor and has conducted all over the world, and then he had such amazingly high standards, standards musically. His analysis was just thorough as could be, top to bottom. We would always say we'd analyze things. He'd start, we go big to small, and we would just cover it all. I mean, we would just go down that upside-down triangle and come to a place of recognition of so many details in the score, and then have to also, the thing he gave us was not being stuck in that level of awareness of the details, but to come back home to knowing that larger picture again. I feel like I owe to him a sense of, oh, that's what the forest looks like, and I also know so many trees here, and my life will be to continue to get to know these trees better. My job is, as a conductor, to invite, to invoke, to inspire, to facilitate in a way, but I feel really like a facilitator or a conduit for the chamber music experience. Our strength does not come from conductors in having all the answers and being the absolute final defining this or that. No way.
A conductor who works as an intermediary between the score and the performers is the perfect conductor. Plenty of people who want to control every aspect of a performance and want to make sure they put their mark on the music of some innocent composer long dead, like Bach, poor Bach. But when you get someone like Craig, he really just wants the music to be alive, and he's a facilitator, not a tyrant or a dictator.
I think that he just shows to us that the music is why we're there. Not for his ego, not for ours. He's just a servant of the music, and he shows us that. And when your leader is setting that kind of example, it's very contagious.
John Corigliano, when Craig conducted his Dylan Thomas trilogy in December, said that Craig understands his own music and his setting of Dylan Thomas better than he himself does. And John Corigliano comes into the area to make corrections, and he simply can't. He just stops and sobs and says, in all my years of Schulte and Barenboim and Bernstein and lists others, I don't think I've ever seen anything more magnificent. And there is a magic that Craig produces.
I came to the University of Texas, which is a fine music school, and so moved to Austin and trucked into my little Honda Civic with no AC, not realizing what that would mean in Texas, hauling this big U-Haul trailer behind. When we started the New Texas Festival, this was one of our basic tenets, was that we wanted to make music at the very highest level that we possibly could, but in the same breath to really debunk musical snobbery. And it's proved to be true. I mean, I think our Kunstbühne Choir and Orchestra with the New Texas Festival, for example, has come to be known as a fine group of professionals from around the country. I mean, I'm so proud of our musicians, just so proud and excited about them.
I look at this chorus, that New Texas Festival chorus. What a bunch of incredible singers. But all those people are really fine soloists, and they come from all over the country to hang out with Craig.
I want New Texas to be a place where we do bold commissioning of new works. I want it to continue to be a place where we can let our hair down, do that debunking of musical snobbery, have musical fun. Have musical fun with everyone, but incredibly so with some of the great musical minds of our time, some of the great composers, the great singers, the great instrumentalists. I want them to come to Austin and have this musical fun and dialogue with us. The environment and the atmosphere around that circle of musicians is very exciting, and I really think it's something that we want to build on for many, many years to come.